Meet Mark, the master procrastinator. Mark was a professional procrastinator.
From a young age, I perfected the art of putting things off.
School projects?
I'd start them the night before.
Household chores?
They could wait until they couldn't be ignored any longer.
Mark's procrastination wasn't limited to his younger years. As he grew older, his procrastination followed him like a persistent shadow. Important work deadlines?
I'd find myself staring at the blinking cursor, the pressure mounting with each passing minute.
Life was a constant race against the clock, with Mark always trailing behind. He knew he needed to change, but the allure of procrastination proved too strong to resist. Mark's procrastination wasn't just a quirky habit. It came at a cost. He often felt stressed and overwhelmed, constantly playing catch-up with his responsibilities. Sleepless nights became the norm as deadlines loomed large.
The quality of my work suffered too. Rushed projects lacked the polish and thoughtfulness they deserved.
Mark knew he was capable of more, but procrastination held him back from reaching his full potential. The worst part? Procrastination stole Mark's joy. He was constantly burdened by the weight of unfinished tasks, unable to fully enjoy the present moment. The guilt and anxiety gnawed at him, casting a shadow over his days. It was time for a change. The turning point came at his best friend's wedding. It was a day filled with joy, laughter, and the promise of a beautiful future for the newlyweds. Mark was asked to be the best man and give a toast. This was a role he had never imagined himself in, but he couldn't refuse his best friend. This was a huge honor, but it also filled him with dread. The thought of standing in front of a crowd, with all eyes on him, was terrifying. Public speaking was not his forte, and procrastination had a way of making everything worse. He had always avoided the spotlight, preferring to stay in the background.
"Hey Mark, you'll do great." His friends tried to reassure him, offering words of encouragement and support. "Just speak from the heart." They told him to be genuine, to let his emotions guide his words.
As the day approached, Mark put off writing the speech until the last minute. He kept telling himself he had plenty of time, but the days slipped by. He told himself he worked better under pressure. He believed that the right words would come to him in the final hours. The reality was, he was paralyzed by fear and indecision. The more he thought about it, the more anxious he became.
The night before the wedding, I found myself staring at a blank page, my mind racing with thoughts and emotions, the weight of my procrastination crushing me. I felt the pressure mounting, knowing that I had to deliver something meaningful. I knew I had let my best friend down, and the realization hit me hard. I felt a deep sense of guilt and regret, wishing I had started earlier. But then, I took a deep breath and decided to focus on the memories we shared, the moments that defined our friendship. I began to write, letting the words flow from my heart. I thought about the adventures, the laughter, and the times we stood by each other. As I finished, a sense of relief washed over me. I realized that speaking from the heart was all I needed to do. On the wedding day, I stood up with confidence, ready to give a toast that would change my life forever.
That night, Mark made a decision. It wasn't just any decision. It was a pivotal moment that would change the course of his life. The weight of his past choices and the consequences of his procrastination had finally caught up with him. He was tired of the last-minute scramble, the constant stress of unfinished tasks looming over him like a dark cloud. Each piece of paperwork felt like a reminder of his failures. The guilt and the regret were becoming unbearable. Every missed deadline, every broken promise to himself added to the heavy burden he carried. As he sat down to write the speech, he felt a mix of anxiety and determination. This speech was more than just words. It was a testament to his resolve to change. He vowed to break free from procrastination's grip. No longer would he let fear and doubt dictate his actions. He was ready to take control of his life.
The words didn't come easily at first. Each sentence felt like a battle, a struggle to articulate his thoughts and emotions. But as I poured my heart into the speech, something shifted. The words began to flow, and with each line, I felt a sense of liberation. I felt a shift within me. I was finally confronting my procrastination head-on. It was a cathartic experience, a release of all the pent-up frustration and self-doubt.
The next day at the wedding, Mark delivered a heartfelt speech. His voice was steady, his words sincere. He spoke from the heart, and it resonated with everyone present. The speech brought tears to people's eyes. He spoke about his friend, their bond, and the importance of seizing each moment. His words were a reminder of the fleeting nature of time and the value of living in the present. As he basked in the applause and congratulations, Mark knew this was just the beginning of his journey. He had tasted the freedom that came with overcoming procrastination, and he was eager for more. The sense of accomplishment was intoxicating, and he realized that this newfound determination could be applied to every aspect of his life. Mark was ready to embrace the challenges ahead, knowing that each step forward was a victory over his past self. This turning point was not just about a single speech, but about reclaiming his life and future. Section 5. Embracing the 2-minute rule.
I started small.
He had stumbled upon a simple yet powerful strategy called the 2-minute rule. The idea was simple. If you can do something in 2 minutes or less, do it now.
It seemed almost too easy, but I was determined to give it a try.
He started by making his bed every morning, a task he had neglected for years. To his surprise, this small act of discipline had a ripple effect on his day.
I applied the 2-minute rule to other areas of my life, replying to emails, putting away laundry, and even starting that daunting work project I had been avoiding.
Section 6. The power of small wins. In this section, we delve into how seemingly insignificant actions can lead to monumental changes in our lives.
The 2-minute rule wasn't about speed, it was about building momentum. By starting with tasks that took just 2 minutes, I found it easier to overcome the inertia that often paralyzed me.
Each small task Mark completed, no matter how insignificant it seemed, added up over time. These tiny actions were like drops of water filling a bucket, gave him a sense of accomplishment. This sense of achievement, though small, was incredibly powerful. It created a positive feedback loop that encouraged him to keep going. It was like he was chipping away at a giant wall of procrastination, one small victory at a time. Each chip made the wall a little less daunting, a little more manageable.
I also discovered the power of celebrating my wins, no matter how small. These celebrations didn't have to be grand. Even a small fist pump or a moment of self-congratulation made a difference.
He would treat himself to his favorite coffee after a productive morning. This small reward became a ritual, something to look forward to and a marker of his progress. Or enjoy a relaxing walk in the park after finishing a challenging task. These moments of relaxation were not just breaks, they were acknowledgments of his hard work. These small rewards acted as positive reinforcement, motivating him to keep going. They served as reminders that his efforts were paying off, that he was making progress.
I was finally breaking free from the chains of procrastination. Each small win was a link in the chain that I shattered, bringing me closer to my goals and experiencing the joy of accomplishment. This joy was not just about completing tasks, it was about reclaiming control over my time and my life. Section 7. Planning for success.
Mark knew that overcoming procrastination was not a one-time fix, but an ongoing journey. He needed a system to stay on track and avoid falling back into old habits. That's when he discovered the power of planning.
I started by setting aside time each week to plan my schedule. I would break down large tasks into smaller, more manageable chunks. I also started prioritizing my tasks, focusing on the most important ones first.
To his surprise, planning didn't feel restrictive. It was liberating. It gave him a sense of control over his time and his life. He was no longer at the mercy of procrastination. He was the architect of his own destiny.
Section 8. From procrastinator to productivity powerhouse.
As Mark continued to implement these changes, he noticed a remarkable transformation taking place. He was no longer the same person who used to hit the snooze button 5 times every morning.
I woke up earlier feeling energized and motivated. I tackled my work with focus and determination, no longer bogged down by procrastination's tight grip.
His personal life blossomed too. He had more time for hobbies, friends, and family. He even started training for a marathon, something he never thought possible before.
Section 9. Reaping the rewards.
The rewards of Mark's transformation were plentiful. He was promoted at work, recognized for his exceptional work ethic and dedication.
Great job, Mark. Your dedication has truly paid off.
His relationships flourished as he became more present and engaged.
I'm so proud of you, Mark. You've come such a long way.
Most importantly, Mark finally felt at peace with himself. The constant guilt and anxiety that had plagued him for years had vanished. He had discovered the power of taking action and was living a life true to his potential. Mark's journey was a testament to the fact that anyone can overcome procrastination and achieve their goals.
Section 10. The Legacy of a Redeemed Procrastinator.
Mark's transformation didn't end with his own personal victory. Inspired by his own journey, he became passionate about helping others break free from the shackles of procrastination.
I shared my story, offering practical tips and strategies for overcoming procrastination. I became a mentor to many, guiding them on their own journeys to productivity and fulfillment.
Mark's legacy was one of hope and inspiration. He proved that change is possible, one small step at a time. His story served as a beacon of light, illuminating the path for others to follow and reclaim their time, their dreams, and their lives.